list. I'm going to have it right here as a
Yay.
consulting factor. There we go. All right, what's the scoop?
What's today? That's right. August 10th.
Is it the 10th?
Well, I think it
I'm
is.
losing my summer break,
Yeah.
man. Okay.
Um,
It is.
and what is important about August 10th?
Church?
Yeah.
I saw a couple garage sales today. Maybe I don't know. What is so special?
Well, the reason I said church is 'cause I keep thinking it's Sunday, but it's Saturday.
Yeah, I know. That's what's part of the joke.
I was over my head because I've been
Okay.
thinking it's Sunday all day.
All
But it
right.
is also otherwise known as Duran Duran Appreciation Day. And what better
Yay.
celebration could there be than to discuss the reissue of the Rio album?
I want everybody to know I did actually know what day it was, but I was kind of hyping it up for the big reveal.
I will leave that up to the people in the room watching right now.
It is about 1,000 degrees in here.
I can't turn the fan on because the last time we had the fan on, it picked up every sound.
I'm just letting you know why I'm all greasy.
I'm wondering if the cicadas are not coming through, but
They
there's nothing I
might.
can do about that.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
So I think we should talk about this reissue.
Mhm.
It's very nice. It has a
Look at
funny
it.
feel on the front there. It's kind of something.
Whatever that means.
I did want to. It's tactile. I did want to show this. This is the CD version of the first album. It has a. I haven't opened this. I probably won't. But it's clearly there's a gatefold. Sorry, I can't show that to you. But I'm sure there's somebody around that will show you that to you. But these are the ones that Rhino did not send me that I had to go to a scalper for. Bink. There she is.
It's a little guy.
Did I show you that picture where they found the actress that they took the...
Yes, you did.
Wasn't that cool?
That was so
She
cool.
clearly had that big smile.
Yeah.
I mean, right on the money with that smile.
Well, that's what she's known for, man.
So, Rio. This is probably the most reissued Duran Duran album.
Because, I mean, just from what I know about the song Rio, is they play it at every single concert.
They do.
Like, every single concert.
In fact, there's several songs on here that they play every single concert, period, and report.
So it makes sense that they reissue this one the most because it seems to have the most popular tracks. Or their favorite, at least.
Well, it's the ones that they sell and the one people demand to hear when they're live.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure they've got an aggregate that tells them what people want, so...
Yeah. Okay.
That's what we'll do. So we'll talk about why this album was so important. Why was it so important? Because it's the second album, and there's the second album curse with all bands.
Where it sucks.
And it's a make or break. If you do not have a good second album, you are probably going to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And this album came along, and funny enough, didn't catch fire until MTV.
Okay.
Somebody had the bright idea to go away and make a bunch of videos. And the MTV was around this time. They didn't have very many videos, or they were all like live shots or, you know, cheese ball stuff. This was the first kind of ones that looked like a movie.
Okay.
And you've seen the Hungry Like the Wolf video. They played that thing every hour on the hour. I don't know why that thing fights me every time.
I don't know why you have that up.
It's for light. So, Hungry Like the Wolf, Hungry Like the Wolf, Hungry Like the Wolf, Hungry Like the Wolf, Hungry Like the Wolf. They did a lot of Rio because that's the one where he's got the flippers and he's pulled off the boat and stuff. That was part of openings of video shows and stuff like that. That one was huge. And then Save a Prayer, I probably saw 1 million times.
It's a good song.
Even though that really wasn't, that didn't catch fire until MTV. So it was really MTV.
I think
and some killer songs. Let's not take that away.
Yeah.
But I don't care how good your songs are.
Nobody knows.
If nobody's
there.
watching,
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
I think this album is better than the first one.
I think so.
Yeah.
You're in agreement with a lot of people.
Well, yeah.
Probably including me.
Just because when we were listening to this, I didn't really have to listen to the whole thing because I knew the songs. I did, but I'm just saying I could have went into this like and just said what my favorite one was, and this one's underrated, all that stuff.
Right, I know this thing back and forth.
So I included in the description labeled Duran Duran 2. That is a link to the playlist I am looking at right now. I keep looking down here. That's where that is.
You know, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, you can play along.
Oh, yeah.
We have cultivated a list that I think is an important, definitive list to appreciate this album.
Okay. And I have it under Duran Duran 2.
I've heard of that.
For the second album. And then I also have Duran Duran 3, which is what we're going to be listening to next time.
So that's in the description too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a lot of homework to do.
I labeled both.
I hope people are doing their homework.
Mm-hmm.
We spend hours cultivating these playlists for your enjoyment so you could play along. Okay. I'm going to tell you something that was very surprising to me. Mm-hmm. I know these songs. I know the whole thing. Because I got pretty soon, again, when the Reissue album came out, if I had heard it, I didn't know it. Didn't penetrate this brain sack.
Not a lot of stuff gets in there.
Yeah, well, this did not get in there.
Okay.
I didn't have MTV. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't have saw the videos. Mm-hmm. It would have been only the ones on TV, because sometimes the videos got so popular that they started showing them on regular TV, and there were only 3 channels. So... And they always showed them at like midnight or something. Yeah. Listen, I am not an evening person.
Party animal.
I'm a morning person. But, and I think we mentioned this last time, their next single after this album, because it was a single in the middle of albums, that's what got my attention. And then I went back and fawned over the first 2 albums. Mm-hmm. And then when I heard this, I was like, wow, this is great stuff. Yeah. Where has this album been? Why wasn't I paying attention?
That's when Duran Duran's career really took off, is when you showed an interest.
I wish I could say that.
It's a goof.
I wish I could say that.
Okay.
But I have to give some of the credit to MTV and some of the credit to the band members.
Some of it?
Some of it.
Okay.
So let's talk about the first song, Reissue.
Do you know the order? Are you able to see this or no?
No, isn't Reissue the first song we're talking about?
Well, yeah, but I think, didn't we reorganize some stuff?
You know what? You're right. Mm-hmm. That's why she's here. That's half of my laser brain. The smarter half.
Oh, thank you.
My Own Way was written before this album. They had the first album. They did their singles. They did tours. They got a lot of traction. It was time for a single. And according to them, they went into the studio to write a hit. Mm-hmm.
And they did.
And that hit, I don't...
And they did.
I guess it depends on what you consider a hit. But, so My Own Way is the first on top of this, even though as an album cut, it's lower. It was actually a single and a 12-inch before the Reissue album came out. Mm-hmm. And it's got My Own Way. And I'm talking about the version that's not on this album. And you'll notice, if you listen to that version, it's very fast.
Yeah, they have a fast one and a slow one.
And then when they put it on the album, they slowed it down.
Yeah.
And reworked it. And you also get a beautiful B-side, Like an Angel, which sounds like, almost like it was from the original album.
And they just like wrote it, and then they saved it, and then it happened on this album.
That's speculation.
Speculation.
It just sounds like it.
Yeah.
My Own Way is kind of wild. Mm-hmm. It's a song that doesn't really fit anywhere, in my opinion. It's kind of its own thing. Yeah. Well, the slower version, I guess, does.
No, I don't like the slow version.
I don't either. I prefer the fast version, but apparently we're in the minority there.
I like to get funky with it, and how do you do that when it's so slow?
Well, I actually like that 12-inch too.
Whatever that means.
The longer version of the song.
No, I don't.
I do.
I don't like the
It's got some computery noises at the beginning. And
I just like to listen to the song.
Me too, but I also like to hear all the inner workings that sometimes you don't get to hear.
Nah. I like when he does the thing.
Very nice. Good. And one of my favorite album covers is the 12-inch of My Own Way with the bullfighter, which I guess the graphic artist heard this. One of the lyrics was running with the bulls, and he ran with it. Ran with the bullfighter.
Yeah.
So that's putting that in context. So we say, I put the fast version in the list, so you can listen to that. And then when you're listening
Right
to the
after it is
record,
the slow version.
you can hear the slow version, and you can decide what you prefer, because that's what matters. And you can also tell me what 7-Up means, because there's a lot of chat in that song.
Mm-hmm.
That he's talking, he's riffing, almost like a rap before rap. And he goes, 7-Up!
I think rap was around.
Well, I don't know. Well, maybe it wasn't mainstream. I don't know. But I don't know what 7-Up means. If anybody knows, please tell me.
It's a drink.
I know it's a drink, but why is he talking about 7-Up? He was so tired? Or maybe his drink, he likes 7-Up in his, so he's going to have it his own way?
He actually, here's a fun little story.
Oh.
He was approached by 7-Up.
Really?
And they paid him off to put the name of their drink in his song. It's sort of like, it's just now a convoluted ad for 7-Up. Because I bet you wanted a 7-Up after hearing that, right?
That's dark, bro.
Well, did you?
I never once, when you said 7-Up, thought of a 7-Up.
Why?
I don't know.
That's the only 7-Up I know.
7-Up! I never heard anybody say 7-Up.
Well, I like to be up. I'm feeling 7-Up, you know?
That song I don't think was around. That version of it. I remember there used to be a dude. It was called, was it 7-Up? Boy, it's so hard to remember that far. But there was this one dude, he was in Live and Let Die, the James Bond movie. And then he got these commercials where he'd sit in like a Panama suit. And everybody would come over and he would talk about the Uncola can, which the can of soda that you have now, you take for granted because it just flips open like that. Didn't used to be that way. It used to be a real like butt plug. You had to go and pull it off, and a lot of people cut their fingers and stuff on it.
I think I would have been fine.
And that thing has been around forever. And then the Uncola can. Ha 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 ha. That's the guy would do. Ha 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 ha. Ah, come over here, children. Let me show you this can. And the kids were like, what? Can we have some 7-Up? He's like, no, you gotta look at this top.
Yeah.
This is so when you go home later today, you can go in the kitchen and open them all up.
Go to the kitchen.
And then say, sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Great stuff.
It's Duran Duran Appreciation Day. I'm appreciating them.
Well, we're not even talking about the songs anymore.
Well,
we're talking about 7-Up.
Well, I want somebody to tell me what it means. Okay. Anyways, Rio, tell me about that song.
That's a great song.
It is.
It's 10 out of 10. Her name is Rio, and she dances on the sand.
Any idea who Rio is?
I imagine a woman.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Then I got schooled by the lyricist.
Yeah. Tell me.
Rio is a transplant for America. So he's singing about America, but you can't say America dances on the sand. So he swapped America for Rio and sort of encapsulated the whole American experience that he had the first time he came on tour.
Nah.
That's how he writes.
Nah.
You see a girl, Rio, he sees his entire journey through America the first time.
I think that I can interpret it the way I want.
Well, I can only tell you what the guy who wrote it said.
Well, I mean, look, there she is.
Well, that was Nick Rhodes.
No, that's Rio right there. That's her.
He didn't write the lyrics. Anyway, that's what he said.
Okay.
That's what it is. In fact, there's some interesting stories on all of the songs on this album, and I might share a few of them with you.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them.
We're going to be here for 5 hours.
Well, I'm trying to rush through this. I want all these people that are in this room, I want them to get to bed.
So we got Rio. What did you think of Rio?
Rio is, I love Rio.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the way it starts out, sort of that.
I can do without that.
And then it's like this building. So that's nice.
We can never be on the same page, can we?
And then they start singing.
Mm-hmm.
You got John Taylor who's playing the bass faster than anyone has ever played it. That's really good. You get the nice song, and then you get that little sax solo.
You mean sax?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did I say?
It's not that.
I said sax solo.
Whatever.
Write down in the comments.
Whatever.
If you heard sax solo or her laser brain has melted this late in the evening.
Okay.
And then you get that drum at the end when they're doing that thing. And he's talking about the lawman arrive.
What?
Have you heard the song?
Yeah, I have.
Could I pause it and you can go listen again?
The weirdest thing is you're naming all the lamest parts of the song and saying
Okay,
that's
well,
the best.
then you school me. What are the best parts?
Her name is Rio.
Shit.
And she
What else?
dances on the same.
Shit. What else?
Just like that river twisting through a dusty lane.
Land.
Land.
Oh.
Through a dusty. Well, because he says it kind of weird.
Well, that's how singers do it.
Well, yeah.
They make it sound fancy.
Yeah, you got to do it so it kind of rhymes or is smooth or whatever. But that's why it's hard to extrapolate some of the words that they're saying.
You can just look at a lyric sheet, I guess, if you're really
True,
interested.
But who does that?
It used to be a big thing. You know that was so popular back then? In magazines, a whole page would be just printed lyrics of songs.
Yeah, I don't do that. I just listen to a song and I make up whatever words I want.
I mean, are there magazines anymore? When's the last time you saw a magazine?
Today.
You did?
Yeah, you showed me one.
Oh, well, that's a special. I had to mail away for that.
Okay.
So as far as a song to start an album, it gets your attention immediately. And I can't remember the last time I went to one of their concerts where they didn't finish with Rio as the encore.
That's like the finisher.
And everybody was out of gas.
But everybody was on fire when they heard the...
Was there another band on the stage?
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You don't...
You just keep naming all the worst parts of the song.
It's true. Oh, you got your feelings hurt?
No.
It sounds like you got your feelings hurt.
I just wanted to know what you were talking about. So, very good song. I don't think anybody would disagree with that, really. If you like Duran Duran music.
You like Rio?
Rio is standard issue. You must accept it. But so we can go on to, what's the next track?
Lonely in Your Nightmare.
Lonely in Your Nightmare. Love this song. It sounds good, but there's also some very interesting lyrics.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I like them. I'm not going to talk a lot about them because I know it's over your head, but there are some really deep thoughts in there and very interesting thoughts.
It's over my head.
And, oh, you didn't like that.
You just said I was the smart one like 5 minutes
I know,
ago.
I don't know what happened.
Well.
It hit 8 o'clock or something, and that was it.
Exactly.
Lonely in Your Nightmare. So I really like the sound of that one. What did you think of it? Or what do you think of it? You probably heard it a lot of times.
I really like that song.
Yeah.
Just in general, because they also made a mix of it on the Dance Macabre album.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because their most current album is of this recording. There is a cover version of their own song. Yeah. With a mashup of Super Freak.
Which, I love that song, and it made me appreciate this song more.
Yeah.
You know, it made me go back and listen to this and be like, hey, that's a really good song.
And usually when bands go back and re-record a classic song, it doesn't work. I think they did a really good job with that.
Really good job. I listened to that one probably more than the original, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I like that song a lot. I think it's good.
I do too. I really like it. And they made a video for it.
I like videos.
Even though it wasn't a single.
I like seeing things.
It's a nice video too. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Hungry Like the Wolf.
Oh, well. Right?
So overplayed, man.
Should we even discuss Hungry Like the Wolf?
Everybody knows Hungry Like the Wolf.
If you ask a normie to name a Duran Duran song, I'll bet you 1 trillion times out of 8 trillion they will say Hungry Like the Wolf. And then they'll make a dumb face. They're like...
Why do they make the dumb face?
I don't know. So for some reason they think it's jokey or something. Hungry Like the Wolf. I don't know why it's so damn funny. Yeah. It's like an 80s goof, like when somebody wears like a pastel suit or something like that.
You know what? They need to start taking this a lot more seriously.
Well, I mean, listen. It's a catchy song.
Name 3 songs.
Pass the Dutchie.
You don't get that joke?
I don't. What is that?
That's you're doing a imitation of those guys who, when you're wearing a band shirt and they go up to you and start quizzing you.
You're talking about
Name
posers.
3 songs.
Yeah, they're looking for posers.
Exactly, which is just...
They would be disappointed if they were trying to poser me out when I'm wearing this shirt.
Yeah. Name 3 songs.
Although most of the people that see me go, what?
Sometimes people just like a shirt, though.
Somebody accidentally wrote the name twice on there.
If somebody was wearing a Duran Duran shirt and you walked up and you're like, what's your favorite Duran Duran song? And they're like, no, I just like the shirt. What would you say?
I would say that's nice. You have good taste in shirts.
Very nice.
Now, get in my car. I'm going to play some music for you. And don't worry about these handcuffs I have here.
I don't like this joke.
Just kidding.
I don't like this joke.
Not a joke.
It's not a joke.
So you'll hear Hungry Like the Wolf. There was the video that was sort of a takeoff of Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like a mini movie. You had a great song. Mm-hmm. You had a great video. And it got played over and over and over and over again. And if there was one song that anybody would attach to Duran Duran, it's Hungry Like the Wolf.
When I was little, I thought this song was about waiting in line for food.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you had that thought, were you hungry?
Every time I heard this song, I pictured like waiting in like a fast food line or something.
You know, it's funny you say that. Have you ever heard of Kevin Smith?
I have.
His second movie was called Mallrats.
Mm-hmm.
And in the opening sort of dialogue some character gives, mm-hmm. they're in the mall and they're talking about stores that used to be in there. Because mm-hmm. this one takes place in the 90s, mm-hmm. 80s you would have had. And he said one of the restaurants was called Hungry Like the Wolf.
There you go.
So
I was already, he stole my idea, really.
Something, when people think of the 80s, that might come up.
Yeah.
Hungry Like the Wolf.
So what you're saying is I should get in contact with him and try to get some money?
I don't even know if he'd get it. I don't know. I don't even know what that guy listens to. I think he's more hard.
You don't know how to riff, do you?
Yeah, I riff.
Yeah, I was trying to riff with you, and you just came at me with, I don't know what he'd think. It's not.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm taking you so seriously.
Yeah.
I respect your brain. I'll reevaluate that assessment.
I'm gonna go hang out with some riffers.
Okay.
You ready for the next one?
A couple of cicadas out there give you a good conversation.
You ready?
Well, we haven't finished Hungry Like the Wolf.
Oh, what else do you want to say about Hungry Like the Wolf? You said we shouldn't even talk about it, and then you go into a 20-minute speech.
I have to talk about what the song means. What do you think it means? It means standing in a line for food.
Well, when I was little, I thought that, and people laughed at me, and I assume that's not what it was about.
It is not.
Okay.
And a lot of people are still confused by it and ask a lot, but I actually read.
Ew.
In a book.
Ew.
From the man who wrote the lyrics.
Ew.
What is Hungry Like the Wolf?
Would you get to the point?
And what is he hungry like the wolf for? Fame. That's
so you
what
just
he wrote.
want fame.
He wanted fame more than anything in the world at that point. And Hungry Like the Wolf is describing his pursuit of fame. And with this, he got it.
So it's basically like the old-timey Maxine, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Single focus, become famous.
Cool. I can relate to this now.
Yeah, get it?
Get it?
All right, so that's as much as I can tell you about Hungry Like the Wolf. Who's next?
Hold Back the Rain.
What a great song, huh? I think on our list I put the Hold Back the Rain 12-inch too.
You didn't.
You sure? The
remix? It's at the end. The Carnival remix.
Yeah. Why that's so important is that version. I put those 12 inches in there if I think that version is better than the album cut. And that is one that really pops, that 12-inch, in my opinion. So I put that on there so you can decide. The album cut is great.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. But that 12-inch...
Would you do the chorus for me? I think I'm forgetting what the song is.
Hold back the rain... Hold back the rain.
That was okay. It's not one of my favorites.
Hold back the rain.
It's not one of my favorites. Okay. You done?
Hold back the rain.
Why are you doing the limp wrist syndrome?
I'm hiding it behind that album.
Okay.
Why would you tell anybody that? I don't want them to really know me.
Okay, go ahead.
That's it. Let's Hold Back the Rain.
All right. Yeah, not one of my favorites. Yeah.
Dude, that song rocks.
Well,
what are you talking about?
Compared to the other songs on this album? Uh-oh.
I can't believe it.
So you don't like when another opinion is voiced?
I can't. That song rocks.
It's good. I don't hate it. When I hear it, I'm not like skipping it, you know?
Sometimes I like the up-tempo
Well, number
ones.
one, if I usually can't recall the song, it probably didn't make a big impact on me.
Okay. Or maybe you just haven't heard it enough.
Maybe. Yeah, I feel like if I like something, it makes an impact and I remember it.
It's not for me. I need to hear a song and think on it most of the time. I will tell you, most of their singles when they put out, when you don't hear from them for a couple of years and they put out a single, I'm like, I hear it, I go, oh.
And then it grows on you.
And then I realize, wait a minute, you weren't paying attention. This is genius.
Yeah.
Most cases.
I've done that a few times, but for the most part, if I like a song, it'll stay in my brain.
Yeah.
Especially
Well, if
with
it's got a hook, yeah.
Especially with how many times they say, "Hold back the rain."
Right.
You thought,
right.
I'd probably get it.
And there's a story about those lyrics. I'm not going to tell it because you don't care.
I don't.
So, what is the next song?
New Religion.
New Religion.
This is another one I'm going to need a little refresher. Go ahead.
So this one is one that when I first heard it, I didn't get it.
That's not singing the chorus.
New religion, oh, I'm talking for free. I can't help myself. It's a new religion.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one.
Okay. And he kind of raps in the middle of it. So I felt the same way you did when I first heard it. I'm like, I don't get this. But then when you start listening to the lyrics and the layers and the whole vibe of that song, that one's another layer. So you got the people who don't know who Duran Duran is, you got the people who say they're a fan, and then you got the next layer.
Oh, so you're saying you're a super fan?
I'm not a super fan. I'm not. There's a couple more layers that I'm above.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in that third tier where something like that, I go, you know what? There's a lot going on in that song, and it's worthy. But obviously, it didn't resonate with you, and it took a while for it to resonate with me.
I'll work on that. I'll go to an ancient hill or something.
You should
go and give up all my worldly possessions. Maybe listen.
Or they're going to take them from you, one or the other. So
why are they taking them from me? I'm
going to like a little. You will own nothing. You will be happy.
I go to a retreat. That's basically what I'm doing.
There won't be any retreats. You work for the state.
That one episode of.
And you get a handful of rice every week.
Don't. Oh, what's that one where they went to the retreat and they had to be silent the whole time?
Yes, there's a lot of shows like
what's that show?
But I'm thinking of the one with Almost Perfect.
Was it Almost Perfect? Yeah, it was Almost Perfect.
There was one.
Well, that was the one we watched, and it's like the guys, the husband, and the chick.
But I think there was a King of Queens that did that. That one's been done a lot. I think it was done best in a show that you've never heard of, called Almost Perfect. You've never seen it. You don't know who's in it. You don't know why. It's one of the best fucking sitcoms ever. The first season. And there weren't enough dumb people watching it, so they thought they were screwed, and they took a hammer to it for the second season and destroyed it.
I kind of want to watch that again. Can we watch it?
There's no official way to watch that?
We can figure it out.
And I still search sometimes for that. I would love a pristine copy of those episodes.
Let's just go on YouTube or something.
I didn't appreciate it enough when it was on, but if you think about, I can't remember how many episodes they did in that first season. It was probably 18 or 20 or whatever. There's not a bad episode. You will laugh every single episode somewhere in there, and some of them you're going to laugh the whole time.
Sounds like
I love the dynamic of two characters who are supposed to like each other, agitating the shit out of each other constantly. But there's another layer of love under there.
Aww. Like willing to put up with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I have my own situation where there's a lot of nonsense.
But a lot of love.
And there's friction, but there's love.
Aww. Sounds like we need to have a mini-series where we watch episodes and talk about them. What do you think about that?
Do you guys want to hear about Almost Perfect that you can't watch?
Nobody's there.
Well, listen, these things live on in the ether forever.
I mean, I bet they're on YouTube. Do you want to bet?
You know what? Everything is on YouTube. I don't want to bet. But I would like a pristine copy.
No, you're not getting it. I'm saying if people want to watch...
Oh, they want to watch it?
Yeah.
You know what? Can I tell you something? That's your generation who knows how to find almost anything in these weird sites.
YouTube.
No, YouTube may have it, but it may not. It's a copyright issue. It depends, and I think that was CBS, so they might be right on top of that. But I've even looked on Paramount Plus because that's where it would be, and it's not there.
Let me see.
It just doesn't get the street cred.
Almost Perfect Restoration.
Ooh, yes, that's what I want.
There you go.
Or is it Almost Perfect Restoration or Almost Perfect the television show
full
restoration?
Episodes.
You're shitting me.
Season 1, Episode 1, Season 1, Episode 2.
And it's cleaned up?
Almost Perfect.
That's a restoration?
I don't know. That's just what popped up when I clicked it.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll finish this album thing and then we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I might be into that.
If you can find Almost Perfect and you like sitcoms...
It's on YouTube.
You can watch it on YouTube. And listen, this is a real sitcom, okay? What do I mean by a real sitcom?
Funny.
Funny is number one.
Okay.
Number two, I think they would be politically incorrect now.
Okay.
It's not all vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
But that one's pretty tame, I got to tell you. But a show. What do you think of when you think of the 10 best sitcoms that you've ever heard of? And don't say anything because we might do a video on that. That's actually a pretty damn good idea. I Love Lucy. Well, you can't really say I Love Lucy because you've only seen like 2 episodes.
I've seen the 2 episodes and I'm sold.
I'm talking about a show where you've seen all the episodes more than once. That may, I don't know if is that really a situation comedy? I don't know.
Yeah, that Brady Bunch is a sitcom.
I'm thinking of like a 3-camera sitcom, but we can
keep
get
going.
into that.
Sorry,
we can go into that. Well, yeah,
I'm
obviously there's a topic you're more interested in is sitcoms. We definitely could talk about that.
I like sitcoms.
And one of the sitcoms I would mention if we did talk about it was Three's Company.
Mm-hmm.
And a miracle happened. What year is this? 24? It might have been last year or this year or some point in that. They did?
Yeah, didn't they do the box set?
They did a box set, but in this box set, because I owned another box set, I think I gave it to you.
Yes, I have it.
In this box set, they finally included the Ropers, which who cares? But they included Three's a Crowd.
The best.
Which is what Jack Tripper did after Three's Company, and is absolutely, in my opinion, canon and part of that show. And without that, you don't have a complete picture. And it's been shit on since 1985.
But it's great. I'm sorry to be that guy. We got to get back on track.
So where were we? We're at New Religion, Not Your Cup of Tea. I understand that because it took me a while to get into it. I think if you gave it a chance, it will rewire your brain. That's a good tune.
Save a Prayer.
Right. You mean Last Chance on the Stairway.
What do you mean by that?
That's the next song.
It's not on here.
It's not on our list? How do you not put Last Chance? Are you sure it's not somewhere down there? That'll have to be rectified.
Looking at it. Well, I read the list off to you and you said good.
I wasn't listening. You're just supposed to copy it.
Okay. No, because
this one, I think we were preoccupied with something. I couldn't see it. That's why when we did the 7 and Ragged Tiger one, I was right on the list.
I'm just letting you know.
I gotta be dead in. You cannot leave Last Chance on the Stairway off. Did you hear the song?
No. Go ahead and sing it for me.
You're right. When you were playing it today, you're right. That was not on there.
It wasn't.
And I missed it. So you can't even discuss the song.
Why don't you tell everybody what you like about the song?
It's a banger.
Oh.
It is one that they, it was one of the Last Chance on the Stairway.
I can fix it right now.
Yeah, that's got to be fixed because you can't leave that off.
Oh.
If you're in that layer where I am, that crust, that song has to be on there in your list.
There it is. Yeah, it wasn't on the Supreme list.
It's
and
wild.
It's like their official one,
it's there.
too.
It's definitely there.
Well, I know that.
But Last Chance on the Stairway, especially any Duran Duran fans out there, you know Last Chance on the Stairway. And they brought it back. Last year's set of shows, they played it. Only in Europe. You stinkers.
I have fixed it.
Thank you. Now, see, if anybody of you was watching the list now, I'm sorry. You're going to have to go back in and Last Chance on the Stairway. They really should be paying attention to us.
Yeah.
Really, what they should be doing, you pause the video, listen to the songs or whatever, get a refresher. It's fun.
You're bullying how they're having fun.
A bully.
I didn't need to use that word.
Strong suggestion.
You are telling them how to have fun with the album.
That's what I do. I tell people how to have fun, and they better have fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? Last Chance on the Stairway is, it's hard for me to discuss it with you without you hearing it, but it is a
banger.
Wonderful song.
Okay.
It's not flashy.
Okay.
But it's got one hell, other than sort of the title of Last Chance on the Stairway is kind of like, huh? But
what's your last chance?
Last Chance on the Stairway to me means
falling down the stairs.
In my case, you're dating this chick, or she's new, you meet her at a party or whatever it is, and you're trying to get in that apartment. And you better have something really smart to say, and that's your last chance. Because you're out on the stairway, and you either say something really smart, or you're going home, Jack.
Or you start doing the Blanche Dubois thing. That wasn't Blanche, that was that other chick. On A Streetcar Named Desire. There's that whole scene where...
Blanche Dubois is correct.
Was it Blanche? Okay, at the stop of the... And then there's the staircase right there, and then there's... Stella. No, he was yelling to Stella.
Right, could be.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where he.
That's my last chance on the stairway.
Maybe that's where he picked that up.
And guess what? She came down and gave him the last chance.
She did?
Yeah, she ended up coming down.
You might have broken something that I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
wouldn't that be interesting, huh?
It probably is not, but I'm stretching.
I think that's pretty cool.
I can try.
Anyway, definitely listen to that song.
Great song. I don't have to listen to the song to bring discussion to the table.
You don't, but
my brain
when you're doing what are the best songs and worst songs on an album? Not even worst, just least favorite.
I already know what my picks are going to be. So.
Well, but you haven't heard this song yet.
Ooh.
You never know.
Ooh.
What's the next song? Save a Prayer?
Yeah.
So what can you say about?
I love that song.
Save a Prayer. It's an iconic song.
I love that. Is that one of the mainstream ones?
It was a single. It was a 12-inch. Anything that got a single usually gets elevated.
Okay.
But Save a Prayer, I mean...
I love that song.
If they don't say Hungry Like the Wolf, they might say Save a Prayer.
Okay, so that would not be on an underrated pick.
Save a Prayer is not underrated.
Yeah.
Save a Prayer is right up there with the best of them.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It deserves... I mean, that's got to be in the top 5 of all time Duran Duran songs. That is high up there. I don't like that version, but big song, always played.
I love that version.
A beautiful love song. Great stuff. I don't know what else you could say about Save a Prayer. Yeah, you've got those cool synths. You keep doing that synth riff.
Uh-huh. Diction exercises.
But there's also beautiful guitars in it. The lyrics and the singing are the best of the best. Yeah, that? Listen, I've tried to do that. It's hard to keep that up. I wonder how many takes he did.
Yeah.
So.
It's great.
Yeah, that's our fabulous breakdown of it. It's great.
It's great.
And you know what? It is.
It's great. Well, that's why I started off Rio just saying, it's a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song, huh?
We're just going to go through to each one of these and be like, I like that one.
Anybody else except for New Religion? These are pretty good.
The Chauffeur?
I don't know. Now, the chauffeur, excuse me. I'm so excited. I can't speak.
Diction exercises.
Red leather, yellow leather.
That's a good one.
Red leather,
Mommy
yellow
made
leather.
me mash my many M&Ms.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. What a jerk.
I think you're really far ahead of me. I don't even know that one.
You don't? Oh, I had to do that in choir as a diction exercise.
I see.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I know.
I should have taken choir that I wouldn't sing. I'm tone deaf.
Me.
Oh, I guess we're both tone deaf. What are we talking about?
The Chauffeur.
The Chauffeur. That song is kind of... See, by the time I plugged in, The Chauffeur was already a big song. Anything that was on the live video, which we'll talk about in the next album, As the Lights Go Down, all of those songs are drilled into your brain, and The Chauffeur is one of them, and it had a big stage production, and it's got the flute. Any song with a flute in there. That song's been reworked a couple times. It's so popular. They sang it on the tour that's going on right now. They're doing the Chauffeur again. I heard them open a show with it. I'm like,
ooh la la.
they're opening the show with the Chauffeur? I don't know if I would do that.
I don't like spelling chauffeur.
Neither do I.
I'm just looking at the spelling and I'm like, oh.
Chauffeur had a crazy video that they weren't even in, so I don't know what the story of that is.
Were they being chauffeured in the video?
There was a chauffeur in the video.
Hey!
There was all kinds of nonsense going on with that one.
That checks out.
But, I mean, every one of these songs, just because the Rio album is their most popular one, everybody knows every track on this song, album. And the Chauffeur, somehow it got elevated up way up here too.
I think maybe because it's getting late, your brain is turning to mush.
Well, it's just hard to articulate why those songs are so important, but anybody who saw As the Lights Go Down was a concert movie that was on, I think it was HBO or Cinemax back in the day when it had just happened. And that was like, you couldn't, when you see when they recorded things back then, it was very hard to see things a second time, or if you missed it. And there were videotapes and stuff like that. And, you know, maybe if you had MTV, every now and then, like Saturday nights, they would show a concert. But then, I mean, what are the chances you're going to get the Duran Duran concert? And if you miss that, whatever. But this one on Cinemax, the way cable worked back then is they played the shit out of what was ever on that month. And you could, movies that I watched during that time, I could probably recite all the dialogue to you. And that is one. And the Chauffeur was a big production number. And it was later reworked into a video release called Arena, which, here's a hot take. I don't like Arena as much as I like As the Lights Go Down. So I know a few people out there, you fainted, but I'm sorry, I prefer As the Lights Go Down.
I don't prefer Duran Duran.
Yes, I've heard that before.
Yeah, I was just quoting someone. I would never say that. Yeah.
Was everybody able to see your shirt? I don't know if they could see your shirt.
I showed them at the start.
Do you know where that shirt came from?
Duran Duran.
That's a fan club exclusive.
I'm in the fan club.
What album?
I don't know which one it's from. Notorious? Is it Notorious? Is it Notorious?
It's the guy in school who would do this. Every time you ask him a question.
Notorious.
He didn't know the answer. There you go, like this.
I'm already going to tell you that Notorious is one of my top 5 Duran Duran songs.
Wow.
I'm giving people a little sneak peek from when we get there.
Hey, save it for the video.
Can I do a sneak peek?
Yes.
Okay. I love Notorious.
No.
Yes.
That shirt is way newer. That design is way newer, yes.
Is it, what's that one that had the tiger and the ice cream and... Is that the one?
You're getting warm.
Pressure. I know Pressure Off was on that one.
Pressure Off was not on that one.
No, it was.
I'm sorry.
Who are you now.
Who are you talking to?
That was on that album.
Pressure Off was on...
Are you just going to tell me?
Paper Gods.
That was on Paper Gods.
Yes.
Isn't that the one I'm talking about?
What song are you talking about?
Pressure Off.
Is on Paper Gods.
Yeah, I just didn't remember the album.
Paper Gods.
The album is Paper Gods.
Yes.
That's the one with the tiger and the ice cream on it?
No.
What's that one?
What is the tiger and the ice cream? Wait a minute, maybe I should find out.
Yeah, maybe. Wait.
What's Tiger and the Ice Cream?
There's like a... Why are you acting like you've never seen that?
Well, I think I know the song you're talking about, but I think he says...
Talking about album covers.
Oh, yeah. You're okay. So now I understand what you're talking about. So Paper Gods had a bunch of symbols from past Duran Duran albums and stuff.
Yeah, what? Ice cream cone tiger.
Right.
Suck on that.
Okay. Can you tell me where the ice cream cone is from?
No.
No. Can you tell me where the tiger's from?
Probably 7 in the Rag Tiger.
All right, you got me there.
Okay.
You knew that one.
That'd be my guess.
I thought you were talking about that song where he goes, Ice Queen on top of a mountain.
No, I was talking about the album.
Cream.
The front of the album. It was like blue and pink, and it had an ice cream and it had a tiger.
And a lot more.
Well, those are the ones I remember.
And when we get to that album, there's going to be bonus points for people who know all the pictures without looking them up out of your brain.
I don't know all the pictures. But I don't even know what we were talking about. I just wanted to be right.
Well, there's
you can put that on my tombstone.
So we're talking about the chauffeur.
And then we got Like an Angel.
Okay, so Like an Angel is the B-side to My Own Way. That is a song to me that sounds like it was from the first album or sort of in that interim period. I'm not 100% sure. It's got it doesn't sound like the first album, but sort of does. And it doesn't sound like Rio, but it sort of connects.
Okay.
And it's just a nice little gem that's floating out there.
Okay.
In my opinion. It's not flashy.
Mm-hmm.
But when that comes on, I listen to it. I don't press fast forward.
When we're talking about our picks, I'm going to need to ask some questions.
Okay. Well, we're not there yet, right? Is that the last song?
That's the last one on our thing. We got the carnival mix of that other song, but we already talked about that.
That's what I wanted to mention, and I got cut off.
Uh-oh.
When I was going through this album, and I know the album cuts, but like when I get, like say they put out a album here in a year or two, right?
An album.
I consider every song in the orbit of that album as the album.
Okay.
So that's why I always include B-sides and stuff. Anything that was written in that period, to me, that's that chapter of the book.
See, that's funny, because there's a band I know, they'll release their singles, but when the full album comes out, those singles will be on the album.
Right, well, they do that. But what I'm talking about is when these guys get into a room and say, we're going to write an album, and then
they got
25 songs are written, but only 12 are finished or 15 or whatever it is, and then they're released. To me, that's the album.
Yep.
And that's the whole picture, not
it's all
just the album cuts.
Yeah.
Right.
From the same sesh.
You usually get the same vibe. So I was surprised when looking into this how few B-sides there are. Hungry Like the Wolf's B-side is a live version of Careless Memories from the Hammersmith Odeon concert.
Okay.
That's the B-side. So there was no song there. Rio, the 12-inch, had Rio Part 2, which I never understood, which was just sort of almost the same song.
Why not?
I never really understood that.
Mm-hmm.
Save a Prayer. Anybody out there remember what was the B-side on that? I can't remember.
Save a Prayer Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I can't remember what the flip side of that was. I guess I should have looked into that. I can't remember.
Okay.
I remember it's a 12-inch and it's blue and it's a picture of the video of somebody's running on the beach. But I can't remember what was on the back of that. Memories fade. But very surprised. So really the only B-side is Like an Angel?
I got Like an Angel. You want me to read the list again?
No.
I'm looking at the list.
Because I think maybe one of them, Hold Back the Rain, was the B-side, but that doesn't make any sense because it was a Hold Back the Rain 12-inch.
Do you want me to read it again?
What?
The list.
Why?
You don't seem to believe me.
No. If I had the 12 inches here, I could look and validate it. But I can't remember any other songs extra than Like an Angel.
Okay.
I think.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
You ready for your picks?
Your best and your least favorite and
There's a question I need to have first.
Okay.
So I just want to... So are we saying that the mainstream songs are Save a Prayer...
There's no rules in this.
Well, but the problem is...
The only rule...
I gotta pick a popular...
No, you gotta pick your favorite, your least favorite, and then something you think is overlooked.
It's just I need to make sure that my underrated one is not one of the mainstream ones.
It's what you think is underrated, not just what is underrated.
Okay.
There's no real rules here.
All right, that's what I thought the rules were.
Well, we sort of said, hey, Girls on Film can't be your sleeper hit.
Yeah.
Because that's a single probably shouldn't be your sleeper.
Okay.
So what are your singles off Rio?
Yeah.
Rio, Hungry Like the Wolf. Yeah. Hold Back the Rain got a 12-inch, so I don't know.
Hold Back the Rain.
Did it? I could be misremembering all this
Save a
stuff.
Prayer?
Save a Prayer. I don't think Hold Back the Rain had its own jacket. I think that
My Own Way?
remix was a flip. My Own Way had Like an Angel. That was the B-side.
So that could be an underrated song, hypothetically.
Like an Angel could be a sleeper, yeah.
Okay. Okay. You go first for your favorite.
I'm going to do my favorite last. Why? Because it's going to shock you.
I'm already shocked.
So I will tell you my least favorite on this
Is
record.
your favorite going to be Hungry Like the Wolf?
And that would be funny, wouldn't it?
I know. That's.
I'm looking here. What my least favorite? See, the problem is they're all so good. I'm going to have to do something.
Oh, God.
I can't have a least favorite on the Rio album, but I'll give you my least favorite on the Rio album is the slow version of My Own Way.
That doesn't count.
I think it does count. I have to pick one. Otherwise, it would be Like an Angel.
Okay.
It's down the list. What do I not want to listen to on this album? I don't want to listen to the slow version of My Own Way. I will.
Okay.
Because some Duran Duran is better than none, but that would be the one. That would be my least favorite. Sounds like you have a lot of least favorites, so it's not gonna be hard for you.
I don't like New Religion.
Okay. So there's your least favorite, which you were supposed to say your favorite.
No, I was matching you.
Never match me. It'll never work out for you.
I wasn't a fan of New Religion.
Okay. It's fine. I wasn't either, by the way.
Yeah.
When I only heard it a couple times, I was like, do you know what? I'll tell you how much I didn't like New Religion.
You skipped it?
I made a bootleg copy of As the Lights Go Down. Mm-hmm. And when New Religion came on, I hit pause and waited till it was over and then hit record again.
Oh.
Okay? And then later, when I was watching, I was like, what was I doing? Why did I do that?
What?
I'm half crazy.
I think you're all crazy.
And I looked in the mirror and I said, nah, you're not crazy.
You got great hair.
And then my reflection left. And I'm like, I am. That was unexpected. Don't say the S word. You'll get kicked off YouTube.
It's not the S word.
It's a bad one.
So we said.
So your favorite on the album is no. Give me your sleeper.
Let's do the sleeper.
Okay. Lonely in Your Nightmare.
Okay, well,
that's your sleeper.
The reason I whispered it to you is because I want to make sure that was.
It wasn't a single, but it got elevated because they re-released it this year.
That probably had something big. You know what? I'm going to say people need to give that one another listen so they can enjoy the new one more.
Right. So you can listen to both versions.
Exactly.
I actually prefer the original.
I prefer the new one.
Because there's way more. Well, you're missing half the song. They cut it off in the middle. But, because you get Super Freak, which is fun.
You can't take home to mother.
Yeah, that's fun.
Dude, I love that. That's one of the ones I listen to all the time.
Well, that's why they did it.
I like the combo effort. It's great.
No, it's a mashup. That's why people do mashups. They like
it.
So your sleeper is Lonely in Your Nightmare.
Yeah.
That's probably a good sleeper for normal people.
Yep. That's my sleeper.
So my sleeper, see, the problem is I know all these songs. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, they all feel like.
I know them all.
Yeah.
So they're all, the Rio album, like to me, every one of them is.
Up there.
Above. In fact, we're going to do at the very end of this, what is your favorite album?
Okay. I already know the answer.
Well, again, judge slowly, little one. Judge slowly. I bet a lot of people out there that watch this is their favorite album. Because that's what everybody says. And I might have said that. If not for something that happened.
Redacted. Yeah.
So when we get down to the end of this journey and we listen to them all, will Rio still be my favorite?
You'll have to tune in.
Or is it my favorite today?
You'll have to tune in.
Or does it become my favorite again? Because all of these lists that we're making are subjective. Yeah. Tomorrow I could probably give you a new list.
Okay.
But I'm just as this recording, these are my thoughts. Okay. And sometimes it changes. So my sleeper is going to have to be Like an Angel if you can find it. Because to me, all of these are.
It's a lame sleeper.
They cut up your Duran Duran membership card if you don't know all of these. Mm-hmm. There is no real sleeper for Rio. So Like an Angel, I bet a lot of people haven't. And it is worthy to listen to. So that's my sleeper.
Okay. Now I want to hear your favorite.
What's your favorite?
Well, I'm not going to say until you say.
Well, mine's shocking, so you better do yours first. So people are going to pass out when I say it.
Can I give it to 2? Can I give it... There's 3 I really like.
See the problem with Rio album?
Yeah. There's 3 I really like. Can I give 3? I think you're going to... I
guess you could do whatever you want, but...
Save a Prayer, Rio, In My Own Way.
Fast version.
Fast version. I put those as my... above the rest.
And so who rises above in those 3? And I know it's an impossible... How do you pick Rio over Save a Prayer or Save a Prayer over Rio? It's impossible, but...
I'm going to say Rio.
Rio. Yeah, well, listen, I'm not going to argue.
Those are my top 3, and I got to give it to Rio, because that one, every time someone plays it, I'm in a good mood. You know?
It's hard not to be.
Yeah, I start jamming, I know the words-ish, and it's great.
The best song off of this album.
I want to hear something stupid, okay?
It's going to be real. It's going to be raw. I'm
scared.
You ready?
Yeah.
Do you out there know what I'm going to say?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Are you going to think I'm crazy when I say the best song off of this album is the one that rises above all?
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
If it's not real, I don't believe you.
Not only is this my favorite song on this album, it's been my favorite song on this album for over 40 years.
Okay, I understand anticipation, but now I'm just bored.
Well, you get bored easy.
You know,
you see a fly on a piece of paper, you're bored.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
This has been my favorite song off this album all the way back 40 years ago. That's how long. So it must be my favorite because it never changes. And I'm going to tell you in the next video.
No. You're going to say it. Go ahead.
Can you imagine if I did that? Can you imagine the people would assemble outside the door with torches?
I would have to get up and end the live, and I'm not doing that.
Right.
Go ahead.
The best song off this album is Last Chance on the Stairway.
The one I haven't heard.
Yep.
So I can't even agree.
Well, that's why I was so surprised you hadn't heard it.
Yeah. Oops.
You'll have to listen to it.
I guess I can't argue with you.
Not only is that the best song on this album,
too much pausing.
It might be the best Duran Duran song ever made. But if it's not, it's in that top 5.
That's somebody who's really into that song that I haven't heard.
That is a great tune.
Meanwhile, you missed it when we were listening to the album.
Well, to me, because it's just not.
Sounds like
in back of my mind, I knew something was wrong, but I was busy, so I didn't catch it. But you're absolutely right.
Okay.
When I heard "Save a Prayer Come On," I was like, "I want this." Like
I thought that was just your face.
Something was not quite right. Sometimes it is my face, but at this point, it was that.
Okay.
So that is the best song. So. Here's the Rio album. This is the reissue. It's beautiful. These are the, by the way, have we mentioned this? These are the remasters from, I think this one was 2009, but some of them are 2010.
Okay.
So if anybody watching this is probably, you've heard this mix. And I think they reissued this album back then on vinyl. Mm-hmm. I don't really collect vinyl. I stopped collecting vinyl when CDs came out. I had you want to know the last Duran Duran vinyl I bought? Album? No, because this was catching up.
Okay.
The last proper day one vinyl record I bought was Notorious.
I love Notorious.
Because I bought the album and the CD. I probably had the tape.
I love Notorious.
So.
Nope.
When Big Thing came out, I was there. I skipped school. I was at the record store.
You can't admit to that. You're going to get in trouble.
Then they kissed my ass. That's where I was going.
You're going to get in trouble.
And not only did I go and get that record day one on a CD, Then I found out that they were going to show up at the Capitol Records building in the parking lot and play some songs. And you better believe I hopped in the car and
Did you
drove.
give Simon a kiss?
No, I was a little too far away. The parking lot had 2 fences, cages, gates, or whatever. Most people were lining up here, and people were lining up way over here. And son of a bitch, if they didn't open that one first, or the second one I was on. So I got kind of the middle. But every every standing position was good.
Okay.
And it was a nice little. It's nice for him to come out and say hi.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Sing some songs.
No,
I wish I had a video of that. You know that?
Yeah, well, you could have it in your brain.
I couldn't. It's hard to remember, but I definitely remember pictures and stuff like that. But I wish there was a tape of that. I don't know why I even put that out. That was cool. I saw a picture of Simon, Warren, and Nick today on the internet, and I knew instantly what that was because they didn't say anything about it. It was just a picture though. And it was when they were at Tower Records for the Medazzaland.
Ooh.
You went to go pick up the record, and then if you bought it in LA at the Sunset Tower Records, they gave you a coupon to go to the concert and let you in.
Cool.
I remember because I got into an argument with them. I had a $3 coupon because I bought the CD single of Electric Barbarella, and I got a coupon, $3 off to go get the album. I tried to give it to them, and they're like, "Fuck you! You're getting a free concert." And I'm like, "No, fuck you! This says $3 off." I actually called Capitol Records and I said, "This record store will not give me the money off." And the A&R guy called me back, nobody, and said, "Sorry, son. He said that he feels you're getting a free ticket and he ain't gonna do it." I go, "Well, that's trash." He goes, "Yeah." And then he goes, "Did you see the Electric Barbarella video?" I said, "Yeah, I did." I said, "How are they going to show that on TV?" And he goes, "I don't know." And then we had a good laugh. He diffused me. And then I went to the concert, and that is when I had a camera, and I recorded that whole thing. Somewhere around here is that tape of that entire thing.
You should have.
And do you know what I remember the most
about
that?
You should have sat outside of that place and sold copies of your video.
Listen, that's illegal. It was like a video aid. It wasn't the best quality, but it was nice to have. But 2 things I remember about that. Number one, when he came out to sing Electric Barbarella, I think it was the first time he'd sang it. He came in at the wrong time. Warren had to correct him on stage.
Uh-oh.
And the second thing I remember is as they were doing some more songs, mostly when you get the camera, you're looking at Simon because he's the lead guy and whatever. But I put that camera over in the middle of a song on Warren, and I held it. And he looked over, and he goes, "Son of a bitch, somebody's actually filming me." Because remember, he was the add-on guy. He wasn't one of the original members, but, I thought he had cred. Recording, he looked right at me. Gave me a big smile. He's like, "Aww. Yeah, I'm finally accepted."
Yeah.
10 years later. He was already accepted, but...
Did you ask him for his number?
I was too far away.
Okay.
Plus, that guy's all man. He's machismo.
So are you.
That's true. That is true. I'm not gonna argue that. So that is our appreciation for Duran Duran on this day. We talk about the reissue, and you should buy it. Although I wish you'd buy it from Amazon or somebody, not Rhino, because I am so angry with them.
It's not cool.
And I like, by the way, Rhino Records is doing God's work. They reissue a lot of stuff you'd never get to see. So, I'm going to have to get over it.
When you were sitting and trying to resolve the Rhino conflict, I can just imagine your little kid brain, like, coming back to you, fighting for that $3 coupon.
Well, I was boiling.
It just came back.
Because they're like, "Well, are you sure it wasn't a box?" I'm like I'm lying about it? I mean, I'm not going to even listen to those. I've got that thing 100 times. I just want it as a collector's item. And they're like, "Well, did you take it out of there? Are you sure it wasn't there? It says..." Well, like, lady, I deconstructed the box.
See,
they're not there. I'm not stupid. I could feel 5 CDs. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm assuming they thought I was lying or whatever. I mean, how are you ever going to know? I wasn't. But by the time we were going back and forth for some reason. Why they couldn't just fix my problem right then. It took them about 5 days to sort of understand it. Mm-hmm. By that time, there were no more CDs, she said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, where did those CDs go? You had this many packs of the CDs that you sold because they were sold out. They're there. Where did my pack go? You didn't sell an extra pack because it was sold out. You couldn't buy an extra pack.
Somebody swiped it.
I think somebody forgot to put it in or wanted those because they didn't jump on it. First day, Rhino. First day I was on that. Cash money. And you didn't, like Amazon does, charge me once you ship it. You took the fucking money that day. You understand, son?
I think you're just going on a 20-minute rant.
Well, I'm still sore over that because it hurt.
I was trying to give it like a fun conclusion to connect to your other story.
Listen, I know people got problems and all over the world, and I'm here bitching about a couple of CDs you write. Putting it in that context, I'm ridiculous.
I tried to connect these two stories for like a proper thing.
Well, I didn't like. You know what? Who cares about $3? But I wanted my $3. You know how far Tower Records in LA was from me?
You're just as sore about that.
That was at least a 30 or 40-minute drive. Mm-hmm. And plus, downtown LA, oh my God, what a mess. Mm-hmm. And I was in a line that went from the record store all the fucking way down the street and stand there for hours and then got in there. They were late. And I'm standing in this parking lot for another few hours. I've never did that today. Mm-hmm. But I could have my $3. I bought the CD single. I didn't go on Napster and pirate it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to go beat that guy up for you?
By the way, I couldn't tell you what he looked like. The very first official, legal download in the universe was...
I don't like this pause you do. It bores
I'm
me.
waiting for your answer.
I don't have an answer.
How Electric
would I know that?
Barbarilla.
How would I know that?
I don't know. What layer are you at, son?
I'm like a little bit better than Hungry Like the Wolf. Okay, is the only one I know.
You're out. Go listen.
I'm like tier 2. You said you were tier 3. I'm tier 2.
Go listen to Britney Spears.
I don't listen to Britney Spears.
She's on a tape. She does weird dances with knives.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, she's on TikTok.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She does these weird little dances now. They're like 10 seconds, and she's got these knives. And she's like...
It sounds like you're a big Britney Spears fan.
You can't escape the stuff. I wish I didn't see that.
I have no clue what you're talking about, so it's you.
Well, listen, that stuff, there's some stuff you can't get away from. I've been trying to get away from Britney Spears now. It's 98.
You think you'll survive?
I will. You know, there's people that pop up that sort of they get the world's attention, or at least America's attention for 5 minutes.
I wouldn't attack Britney Spears.
I'm not attacking her, but I just don't want to. I don't want to know what she's doing with knives and that whole thing. But there are some people that show up on the scene, and I'm just like, I'm waiting until that's over and they go away. And there's one that it just now I'm talking about her dancing with knives.
Yeah, and you're telling me to go watch Britney Spears, and I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm calling you a hodad.
I think you, are more in the loop with Britney Spears than me.
Maybe because I can't escape it.
Yeah, well, I can escape it just fine.
I can't escape it. There's some things I can't escape. If it gets down to me, it's penetrated the zeitgeist. Mm-hmm. Like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Try to escape Taylor Swift.
Can't.
You can't. I just heard they canceled a concert because there was going to be a terrorist attack. Like, why do I have that information?
Once again, never heard anything about that.
Well, I can't escape it.
I think you're too into it, man.
I'm dialed in, man.
I think you got to go take a step back from that interwebs.
I needed to do something. But all right, so that's the end of that chapter. Mm-hmm. Up next is Seven of the Ragged Tiger.
I have the link included.
The link is included, so we finally got our together, And we got the link ready for you now, so you can listen to it anytime you want.
So you can listen to it in preparation for the next video.
And I'm going to tell you, everybody, when you're listening to it, number one, is there something I should know has been added to that? Because, again, like My Own Way, it was in sort of the middle ground, and then that's really where I became a fan, so it has to be mentioned
somewhere,
or talked about.
Yeah.
So that's where it's on Seven and the Ragged Tiger, even though it doesn't fit on Seven and the Ragged Tiger, really. It's its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have, now's the time you got to listen to it, and that's that.
Okay.
And how's this for a teaser?
All right.
There's going to be an unexpected thing in the next video. You're going to be like, wait.
The one we're doing tomorrow?
No, that's a DVD roundup. I'm talking about the next reissue Duran Duran album.
Next Duran Duran video, not the next video.
You're right.
I got you.
Right. I should be more specific. The next re-release, Duran Duran number 3, Seven and the Ragged Tiger. In that video, you're going to expect to see Seven and the Ragged Tiger right here. And you will. But you're going to see something else.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you miss this next video,
we're tearing up your Duran Duran card.
We're not tearing up your Duran Duran card, but you will never forgive yourself for what's going to be shown and talked about. Because, why? Because there's some of you so-called fans out there that are confused. And I'm going to set you straight. And there's some of you that know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. And you're my kind of people. And the confused ones, you're my people too. I'm just going to straighten you out. Isn't that nice?
I don't like the whispering.
Well, listen, this is serious business.
It seems like you're going to go beat somebody up.
I'm not. Listen, I'm a pacifist.
Are you?
I am. I'm not beating anybody up.
You tell people how to have fun, and they better have fun. And you're going to straighten them out.
Straighten out is like fix their problem, not straight out with a fist. I'm going to straight out with the brain. Mm-hmm. And you will enjoy the straightening. That's the difference.
Cool.
It's not a forced straightening.
They always say you're going to enjoy the straightening.
It's a pleasure straightening.
You good?
Yeah.
You ready?
I guess we're all done. What should I do as a rollout?
Start singing I've Got My Own Way.
I can't sing that one. I'm off key on that.
And I've got my own way.
How about I give you, just for you people out there, I will give you the weird version of Violence of Summer.
I don't know. What's that?
Uh-oh. You better start doing your studying.
Okay.
So a girl was standing there in the sun, in the late evening English summer sun.
I'll stand off to the side and you signal me when to end the video.
In the hot something sun. Aren't you going to give me nothing but surrender? That's it.
That's it? That was a lame cue.